Hi everyone, I'm Andrew, WA4RGO. In this video, I'm going to talk about programming the BAOFENG BF-F8HP handheld radio with simplex frequencies and repeater frequencies and storing those settings in the memory channels. Give me just a minute and I'll be right back. Okay, I'm going to show you how to program the National 2-meter simplex calling frequency into the BAOFENG BF-F8HP. This particular radio has been reset already, so I know all of the settings are at factory default with the exceptions of the backlight colors, which I've reset to orange to make it easier for me to read and hopefully easier also to see in the video. There are no memory slots stored in the radio except for slot 0 and slot 127, which are the defaults. If you have stored any others since resetting the radio, you'll need to delete those if you want to store something in one of those new slots. I'm going to store the National Simplex calling frequency for 2 meters into slot 1, which, as I said, I know is empty, but I'm going to show you how to reset it anyway, or to delete it anyway. Menu 2, 8.
Delete channel.
Menu 0, 1.
Confirm.
Menu.
Delete channel.
Exit. At this point, we want to put the radio in VFO mode.
Frequency mode.
If it was already in frequency mode and you press the VFO memory recall button,
Channel mode.
it will tell you it's in channel mode. If the voice prompts are enabled, it will also announce the mode each time you turn it on. So we will press it one more time.
Frequency mode. 1, 4, 6, 5, 2, 0.
So I've entered 146.520 megahertz, which is the National Simplex 2-meter calling frequency. What I will now do is check to be sure that certain things that will keep us from hearing this frequency or transmitting and being heard on this frequency. So to be sure those items are cleared, press menu 10. This is the receive DCS. We want to be sure that the digital coded squelch is off for the National Simplex calling frequency or any simplex calling frequency. So the radio will time out very quickly if you don't move through it. So I'm going to go back to that.
Menu.
It's still on menu slot 10, which is where we stopped. We're going to go to 11, which is receive CTCSS. That's off. That's transmit DCS. We want that to be off also. And transmit CTCSS is also off, which is good. That means we will be able to transmit on this frequency without any coded squelch on the digital or analog side. In order to store this in memory slot 1, we press menu 27.
Memory channel.
1.
Receiving memory.
And you hear that the radio says receiving memory. You want to be sure to listen for receiving memory. If it says transmitting, that memory slot already had something in it and it was not overwritten. The radio will confirm successful writing of the memory slot by saying receiving. So you can switch
Channel mode.
to channel mode and we will see. I'll switch to channel 0.
0.
Back to channel 1.
1.
Channel 1 is 146.520 megahertz. Something important to remember about these particular radios. In memory mode, channel mode, as you're switching between channels, it will load the information that was saved for the digital coded squelch and the CTCSS squelch. It will also save the repeater offset direction and repeater offset frequency and load them each time you switch channels. Those are sticky settings on these radios, which means if you switch back to channel mode,
Frequency mode,
and you are on a repeater with any of those options set and you switch to any other frequency, those options will still be set. They will not go back to the defaults. So we will talk about that more later when in the video where I'm talking about programming the repeater, but that is equally important for checking the settings if you're on multiple Simplex channels. If for some reason on a Simplex channel you want to enter a digital coded squelch or a CTCSS squelch setting, you will need to change that to enter any other channel unless those same settings actually apply to those channels. And again, you can start checking those simply by going to Menu, Item 10, and checking that Receive DCS is off, Receive CTCSS is off, Transmit DCS is off, and Transmit CTCSS is off. Again, if you set these, they will remain set. That is an important distinction on these radios to remember, because if you're in the memory function and switching between channels, you will not have to change those. They will be loaded as you change the channels, like we said previously. However, if you are in VFO mode and manually entering frequencies, those will stay set to whatever they are on until you change them each time. So simply coding in a new frequency, tuning to a new frequency while in VFO mode will not change the coded squelch settings, and you will then be potentially unable to be heard, or you may not hear any transmissions that are not using those same settings. Thanks for watching.